from conquering ancient battles to navigating the juiciest Roman gossip. His life was like a real-life drama series. Ever heard of a guy who declared himself dictator for life? Yep, that's Julius Caesar. What of a daring river crossing that kicked off a civil war? But there's a twist. Not everyone's a fan of his rise. Cue the plot twist, a shocking betrayal on the Ides of March that shook the empire to its core. And yes, drama ensues, alliances forged, enemies vanquished, and power like you wouldn't believe. And let's not forget his impact. He's the reason your calendar months sound so fancy. So join us as we examine the rise and fall of Julius Caesar. Born around July 12, 100 BC, Julius Caesar was a Roman statesman and general whose life left an indelible mark on history. He hailed from an ancient and distinguished family, the Julii, claiming descent from the goddess Venus. His father held minor political positions, but Caesar's early years were marked by political turmoil and instability in the Roman Republic. Growing up, he witnessed power struggles between various factions vying for control. The Republic was grappling with economic challenges and social unrest. This environment shaped his understanding of political dynamics and the need for strong leadership. His early life was marked by military service, aiding his political advancement. He married Cornelia, aligning himself with powerful allies. However, due to political tensions, he was forced to divorce her. During this period, he also caught the attention of powerful figures like Marcus Licinius Crassus. Intriguingly, Caesar was once captured by pirates, but maintained a commanding presence even in captivity. His ransom was paid, and he swiftly returned to crush his captors. Political and military ascent. Caesar's entry into politics was marked by his election as a military tribune, a stepping stone that allowed him to assert influence within the Roman army. His exceptional oratory skills and ambition quickly set him apart. He navigated the tumultuous Roman political landscape, aligning himself with influential figures like Gaius Marius. His involvement in military campaigns further solidified his reputation. He displayed strategic brilliance during his service in Asia Minor, earning respect for his decisiveness and leadership. His campaigns in modern-day Spain demonstrated his courage on the battlefield and his ability to inspire loyalty among his troops. Notably, Caesar's conquest of Gaul marked a turning point. His military prowess was on full display as he subjugated various Gallic tribes. He utilized innovative tactics and engineering, showcasing his versatility as a commander. His achievements resonated with the Roman populace, contributing to his growing popularity. By distributing wealth among his soldiers and providing land to veterans, he secured a devoted following. This popularity, however, drew the concern of political rivals like Pompey. As Caesar's military accomplishments accumulated, his influence within the Republic swelled. His charisma, military acumen, and ability to connect with both soldiers and citizens positioned him as a force to be reckoned with, setting the stage for his remarkable rise to power. First, triumvirate. Picture this. Julius Caesar, Pompey the Great, and Crassus walk into a political bar. Sounds like the start of a joke, right? But this trio's alliance was no laughing matter. They formed the first triumvirate, and it was like a superhero team-up, but for politics. Caesar, the charismatic guy with military muscle, Pompey, the conqueror of the East, and Crassus, the wealthy deal-maker. Talk about an odd mix, but they had a common goal: power. Caesar needed support for his ambitious plans, Pompey sought recognition for his military feats, and Crassus wanted to protect his riches. Together they were like the Avengers of ancient Rome, each bringing something unique to the table. Caesar's military prowess, Pompey's popularity, and Crassus' gold. This alliance wasn't about friendship, it was about political survival. Their tag team strategy worked like a charm. Caesar got his consulship, Pompey got land for his veterans, and Crassus got some financial perks. But like any superhero team-up, egos clashed. Cracks started to show, especially with Crassus meeting a fiery end in Parthia. The first triumvirate was a wild ride, showing that even in politics, alliances can be a roller coaster. It helped Caesar consolidate power and push his agenda forward, but as history tells us, alliances can crumble faster than a Roman wall. Conquest of Gaul. Starting in 58 BS, Caesar embarked on a series of campaigns that turned Gaul into his personal playground. Imagine Caesar as the ultimate tour guide. But instead of selfies, he's capturing territories left and right. He used a mix of diplomacy and sword-wielding to win over some tribes and beat down others. Caesar had some genius military moves up his toga sleeve. He was like the ancient master of multitasking, splitting his forces, building forts and crossing rivers like it's just another day at the Roman office. And let's not forget his brilliant bridge-building stint, proving that Romans could MacGyver their way out of any tight spot. The dude was a tactical magician. He'd show up where no one expected, catch the enemy off guard, and voila, victory. A bit like sneaking up on your friend in a game and shouting gotcha. Caesar's notches on his conquest belt included big names like the Helvetii, the Soba, and the Veneti. It's like he was collecting trading cards, but instead he was adding tribes to his expanding Roman collection. Crossing the Rubicon. Picture this, a river, a decision, and the fate of Rome hanging in the balance. Caesar, fresh off his Gallic adventures, found himself at a fork in the Tiber, to cross or not to cross the Rubicon. This wasn't just a river. It was a line drawn in the political sand. The Senate had this unspoken rule. No generals bringing armies into Rome, but Caesar wasn't one for rules. He was like that guy who brings a guitar to a no-music party. He knew crossing that river meant declaring war on the Senate, and he thought, why not? Let's shake things up. Caesar's famous words. The die is cast, not dice, folks, the die as in the singular fate of Rome. The Senate's jaws dropped faster than a dropped olive at a toga party. And guess what? Pompey, his old ally turned rival, wasn't about to let this slide. Cue the Civil War. It was Caesar versus Pompey, like a gladiator showdown, but with more soldiers and fewer lions. The Rubicon crossing ignited a firestorm. Caesar was all in and Pompey fled to the east. It was like a historical game of tag, but with swords and armies instead of playground rules. Dictatorship and reform. Caesar wasn't just conquering lands. He was conquering Rome itself, after chasing Pompey to Egypt like a high-stakes game of hide-and-seek. He returned to Rome with a triumphant grin. Dictatorship was on his mind, and he wasn't taking no for an answer. His rule wasn't just about Caesar's way or the highway. He had big plans. Socially, he was like a builder. He revamped the calendar, giving us the July we know today, named after himself. Politically, he was all about unity. He gave Roman citizenship to more folks than a modern passport office, bringing diverse groups under one flag. Economically, he knew how to put those drachmas to work. He funded public works like a one-man Kickstarter campaign, boosting employment and infrastructure. He tackled debt like a pro, canceling a chunk of it. Imagine your student loans disappearing with a decree to stabilize things. He gave the Senate some love, but also made sure he got a big slice of the political pie. Think of it as a political cake-cutting strategy. Caesar's dictatorship aimed to bridge the gap between classes and build a stronger Rome, but you know how power struggles go. Not everyone was a fan. His reforms left a mark on the city, but they also set the stage for debates that would echo through history. Assassination and fallout. Julius Caesar's days were numbered, and a group of senators, including his so-called buddy Brutus, had daggers and betrayal up their sleeves. On the fateful Ides of March in 44 BC, Caesar strolled into the Senate, only to be met with a barrage of stabby surprises. The senators went all in, like a dramatic scene from an ancient Roman soap opera. Even Brutus, who Caesar trusted like a brother, plunged his dagger in. Talk about backstabbing, literally. Caesar's last words. Et tu, brute, as if he couldn't believe his eyes. His assassination wasn't just a physical blow. It was a seismic shock to Rome's political core. Some the aftermath. Chaos. Imagine a stormy sea of power struggles and confusion. The conspirators hoped to restore the Republic, but they unleashed a Pandora's box of problems instead. Caesar's supporters were ticked off, and they weren't about to let his assassination slide. Enter Octavian, Caesar's grandnephew, and Mark Antony, Caesar's right-hand man. It was like a Roman buddy cop movie. The two teamed up to avenge Caesar's death. Tensions escalated, and Rome was on the brink of civil war again. The conspirators fled, and Antony delivered a fiery funeral speech that lit the city ablaze. Legacy. Caesar's legacy echoed through the ages like an ancient mic drop. His daring deeds and dramatic downfall left an indelible mark on Rome's DNA. His military feats rewrote the map, and his political cunning set new standards. But his death, that was the game changer. The Roman Republic took a U-turn towards the Roman Empire. Think about it. Caesar's death triggered a chain reaction. His successor Octavian, later known as Augustus, snatched the reins and rode into history as Rome's first emperor. The Senate's power dimmed, and the empire's spotlight shone brighter. Caesar's name became synonymous with power, ambition, and crossing the Rubicon into the unknown. His tale fueled countless dramas, speeches, and debates. His calendar outlived empires, and his spirit still lingers in Rome's ruins. From rulers wielding Caesar as a title to our very calendar, his influence lives on, making him more than just a man, a legend that forever altered Rome's course. You enjoyed diving into the epic rise and fall of Julius Caesar. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more fascinating history content, and share this video with fellow history buffs. Thanks for tuning in. Keep exploring the captivating stories of ancient times.